An absolute shocker just went down in the NFL. Andrew Luck has announced his retirement from the Indianapolis Colts, which begs the question, what do the Colts do from here? The Colts, they can't give up on this season. They were one of the favorites to go to the Super Bowl, and they still have a very good team. They have the best offensive line in the sport with Quentin Nelson. That team has just completely shifted. Frank Reich has brought that offensive system to that team, and they were unbelievable last year in the second half. They started off 2-5. They ended up going 10-6, making the playoffs, going to the divisional round, and they went into this year as one of the favorites out of the AFC, if not the favorite. People love this team. They got a good young defense, and the Colts are definitely trending upward, and now they get this shocker. Andrew Luck announces his retirement. And now, of course, Jacoby Brissett is the backup quarterback. But can you really go into the season with such high expectations with him as your quarterback? He was the quarterback 2 years ago. You won 4 games in Luck's absence. And you certainly have the pieces, if you're able to get a veteran quarterback in there, to win. But before we get into that, let's get into the reasoning why Andrew Luck retired. And like I said, this is a complete shocker, not just to me, the whole NFL world. I mean, this guy's going to be 30 years old next year. He's coming off his best year of his career, in which he threw for 39 touchdowns, 15 picks. He had a 67% completion percentage, and he was absolute money in the second half. Eric Ebron had like 12 or 13 touchdown catches. I mean, Andrew Luck was unbelievable last year, and he was back. Now, of course, Andrew Luck suffered a ton of injuries throughout his career, and he got a little banged up in preseason. There was worries he may miss week 1, and maybe that had something to do with his retirement. But according to Ian Rappaport, the Colts have known about this, known that he was mulling retirement for at least 2 weeks. He's married. He plans to travel the world. And once the love for the game waned, it sounds like he wanted to step away, so he did. Then, SportsCenter, ESPN reported, breaking, Andrew Luck has informed the Colts he is retiring from the NFL, league source tells. There will be a press conference Sunday to make it official, but Luck is mentally worn down and now checked out. And that's all well and good. I get it. He's mentally checked out. His love for the game has waned. I don't know what happened between last year and this year. I mean, last year it looked like he had a lot of love for the game to me. But for you to make this announcement 2 weeks before the season starts is crazy. You are letting down 52 of your teammates in a year in which you guys, many people, thought were going to win the Super Bowl. And in my opinion, can the Colts really go into the year with Jacoby Brissett as their quarterback? They won 4 games, like I said. He threw 13 touchdowns, 7 picks. He was rather pedestrian. Is Eli Manning a possibility? And people may say I'm crazy. I don't care. And maybe it won't be to start the year. But Eli Manning makes a lot of sense. He's only got 1 year left on his deal. With the offensive line that the Colts can support him with, I think he can win football games for that team. We all know, and Eli Manning always needed an offensive line. Well, now you would bring him into a situation with the team with the best offensive line on the planet. You saw the way they supported Andrew Luck last year. He was sacked like 13, 14 times, whatever it was. Eli Manning might make a lot of sense. Now, what would it cost? I don't know. But if I'm the Giants, do I take a 2nd or 3rd round pick for Eli Manning at this point? Yeah. Why not? And the Colts, it makes a lot of sense. Your team is set up to win right now. You could bring in an experienced quarterback with the necessary pieces on your team for him to succeed. I think it makes sense. I don't know if it'll happen. Maybe the Colts are completely fine going forward with Brissett. Maybe they think he could get it done. And maybe with that offensive line, he can. Now, he's put up decent stats throughout his career, but he's never, ever equated to any of that into winning. 4-11 as the starter in 2016 or 17, whatever year it was that Luck went down. And I personally don't think he could be the guy that could get it done. Now, is Eli the guy that could get it done at this point in his career? I can't say he is. But I'd feel more comfortable as a Colts fan with Eli behind center than Jacoby Brissett. But that's just me. We'll have to wait and see what the Colts do. But as a Giants fan, I'd be listening. Because the Colts may very well be out there looking for a quarterback. And Eli Manning makes a lot of sense, being how Daniel Jones has looked in the preseason. I would have loved to see Eli Manning, and still would love to see Eli Manning finish his career as a New York Giant. But as a general manager, if the right deal presents itself, you'd be a fool to turn it down. And the Colts might make a ton of sense. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. But just a complete and absolute shocker. A shocker. Andrew Luck retires from the Colts. I can't believe it. As always, guys, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe. Drop a comment. Maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.